I'll add the mask modifier to this default cube. Like some other modifiers, the effects are not immediately apparent. I have assigned a number of vertex groups to help demonstrate what the mask modifier does, and you can see these groups here in wireframe view. Let's toggle back into solid view, and with the cube selected, we'll take a look at the modifier properties. The default mode is vertex group, so under the vertex group dropdown, I'll select bottom. Now the mask modifier masks out anything that isn't assigned to the bottom vertex group. I'll enable viewing in edit mode for this modifier and tab into edit mode so we can see the other vertices. Let's increase the threshold. As it approaches 1, nothing seems to happen, but when we hit 1, then the bottom disappears altogether because this group is also now masked. If we enable the smooth function, everything except the furthest face appears, and now when we slide the threshold factor, it will smoothly transition from no mask to full mask. If we invert the vertex group selection, we can do this in reverse. Let's deselect the inversion and set our threshold to 0.5. And now let's select a different vertex group. The same effect is applied, but now it treats that vertex group as the point of origin. When we toggle to armature mode, the settings are a little bit different. Instead of a vertex group, we can select an armature to use as the mask. I'll select the armature we see here as the target, and immediately we'll see these parts of the cylinder masked out. Let's take a closer look at the cylindrical object. There are a couple of vertex group which correspond to the armature's bones, and even though we won't be using these groups in the mask, they're necessary for the armature to deform the mesh. The lower group corresponds to the lower bone, and the upper group corresponds to the upper bone. As with most rigging situations, there is an overlap to assure smooth deformation. Let's go back to the modifier properties and toggle back into object mode. In order to see how the mask affects the mesh, we need to select the armature and toggle into pose mode. Because the upper bone was already selected, the mask modifier is showing all the vertices associated with that bone. Let's select the lower bone. Now this doesn't update in real time, so we must tab out of pose mode, and when we do, the mask is updated to only show the vertices associated with the lower bone. I'll go back into object mode, reselect the cylinder, and increase the threshold. You'll note that there is no smooth function in this setting, but because our cylinder has more edge rings, and because the overlap of each bone group is strongest at the extremes, raising the mask threshold will hide each edge ring incrementally towards the part of the group which has 100% weight assigned to that bone. And just like the vertex group mode, we can invert the armature selection.